Hello friends, if you're new, welcome to my channel. Why don't you go down, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss any episodes. As for my fans and subscribers, welcome back. I do appreciate your patronage. Today I'm going to be talking about the true story of Christmas. Not much else I need to say. Let's get on with the video. It is difficult to know for sure from where the Christmas tree comes, although we do know that on the island of Chios, tenants offered their landlords poles with myrtle leaves and any flowers they could find. In addition, the Circassians of the early 19th century would carry a pear tree into each house at an autumn festival. It may also derive from a 17th century German tradition that descended from something akin to the English maypole. Although the English maypole is a summer institution, it seems that France and Germany celebrated what was known as a harvest May. This embodied the spirit of vegetation, when a tree would be decorated with ears of corn and fastened to the roof of a farmhouse. Aside from the myth of a tree blossoming on the night of the Nativity, other Christian ideas influenced the Christmas tree. In the Old Church, December 24th was designated the day of Adam and Eve. This came from the idea that Jesus was the second Adam and reconciled man to God. In religious plays of the time, the tree of paradise was sometimes portrayed. At other times, Jesus would be thought of as both the light of the world, hence the lights, and also as the tree of life. This may have helped establish the Christmas tree among the pious. So now that we know what may have inspired the Christmas tree, what about the decorations? Nearly universally, evergreens manifest life when other plant life is dead. These evergreens represent the hope that life will flourish once again and may have been used to contact the spirit of fertility. Of particular interest would have been the holly, ivy, and mistletoe, plants that actually bear fruit in winter. Despite the church's strong condemnation, the custom of adorning houses with evergreens took root, especially in England. It is no wonder that mistletoe plays an important role in Christmas, for it had a special role in both Teutonic myth and Celtic ritual. The beloved Balder was shot with mistletoe, and it also had a special place in Druidic ceremony, Pliny explained. The origin of the practice of kissing under the mistletoe is difficult to trace, but we do know that it is a uniquely English tradition. It may be due to a perceived relationship of love between the sexes and the fertility embodied in the sacred bough. Holly was also once sacred in Britain, and traces remain today. For example, in Northumberland, it is still used for divination. Tradition says that witches hate holly, but this may not be due to pre-Christian sacredness, but due to its association with the Passion of the Christ, due to its thorns and blood-red berries. The sanctity of Christmas decorations in Britain, at least in the past, is shown by the fact that people did not simply throw them out, but burned them, or gave them to the cows. The mistletoe was carefully preserved until a new one went up the next year, at least in Shropshire. The Swedes apparently sprinkle the floor of the parlor with sprigs of juniper, spruce pine, or rye straw. Today, people connect the straw with the stable at Bethlehem, although it was probably originally intended to bring the wholesome influence of the corn spirit into the house. In Rome, strainae were offered to the emperor or exchanged between citizens. Originally, these were branches picked from the grove of the goddess Strenia, but in the time of the empire, gifts had become more elaborate. These gifts were intended as a charm for the new year, based on the belief that as the beginning was, the rest of the year would be. So basically, the strainae were exchanged on New Year's Day. Now, however, gift giving is tied to Christmas, not New Year. In France and Germany, the Christ child is supposed to bring the gifts. In Italy, children receive presents on Epiphany Eve. I think that's in January, but I'm not sure. If anybody knows, please leave it in the comments. In the northern provinces of Italy, gifts are usually attributed to Saint Lucia. Christmas cards are attenuated Christmas gifts and are of relatively recent origin. They apparently have their origins in English, quote-unquote, Christmas pieces that were popular in the first half of the 1800s. These were pieces of paper with ink or copper plate designs. Although the first, quote-unquote, proper Christmas card debuted in 1846, they did not become popular until around 1862. In every country that celebrates Christmas, a distinctive meal is associated with the holiday. Let's take a look at a few. In England, it seems to be the case that the November feasting was moved to Christmas. In these displays, a pig's head is conspicuous and reminiscent of the sacrifices of the Druids. The modern English Christmas goose seems to be tied to the German Martinmas goose. Cakes and pies, partially or wholly made of vegetables, is as ubiquitous in England as animal fare. Also, the English are famous for their plum pudding. Also, sweets are ubiquitous everywhere. In much of Europe, pig is a favorite Christmas dinner. In some parts of Germany, herring is consumed, and in Brittany, the people eat carp. Also, in Catholic countries, meat is not allowed, so fish is often substituted. Don't forget, I now have a merchandise store. It is on my website, link in the description. I do get a percentage, so not only will you be helping out the channel, but you will be getting something for your money. It's great for Christmas gifts. Well, friends, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, press the subscribe button, and if you want to know when I come out with new content, hit the bell next to the subscribe button. My Twitter, Discord, email, PayPal, and website are in the description, along with the source that I used for this video. Also, if you will, please leave comments in the comment section. Not only do I love hearing from you, but it triggers the YouTube algorithm. Also, please remember that I choose my comment of the week on my Saturday live streams from my edited content. If you wish to be in the running for the comment of the week, please leave comments in my edited videos. Keep learning and searching for truth. Here are a few videos from my library. If you have not watched them yet, go ahead and watch them and tell me what you think. Until next time, friends, stay safe and goodbye.